DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. I want to talk about focusing on your zone of genius and focusing on the great few as opposed to the mediocre many. I sent a text message out about this, and if you don't know about my daily motivation text that I send every day for free to everyone, then that number is down below in the description wherever you're watching this video. And I see a chicken crossing the road right now. But anyway, in that text, I said exactly what I just told you, is that what the main thing that you want to focus on, especially when it comes to your professional success, this is most important, but you could also use this in just your everyday life also, is what is your zone of genius? What's the area in which you produce, or you have the opportunity or the potential to produce the highest ROI? ROI standing for return on investment, for those of you who don't know, meaning you put in this much, but you get the biggest multiple back in exchange for what you are putting in. You want to focus on that zone of genius. That's the area in which you're the best, and you want to narrow that down to as few areas as possible. Ideally, we can take the S out of it and you can focus on just one area specifically that is your zone of genius. Because the challenge and I'll speak to the business side of this, challenge for a lot of people in business, especially entrepreneurs, when they're getting started and you're launching your thing, is that most of us as entrepreneurs, one of the reasons why we go into wanting to do things on our own and kind of do our own thing is because we have more than one skill. Usually, or at least we think we have more than one skill, or even if we don't have more than one skill, we believe we can develop the skills that we don't have, right? So you're like, all right, I'm good at baking cakes, and I can learn how to do the accounting. I can learn how to handle the customers. I can learn how to find the right type of building. I can learn how to hire staff. I can learn how to teach them how to bake the cakes the same way that I bake the cakes. So we either have multiple skills, you think you could do multiple things, or you believe you can develop the ability to do these things. That's one of the reasons why you go into it, because you know that you can't just bake the cakes. Because if all you want to do is just bake cakes, then what you should do is get a job, right? But you know that all these other pieces, you believe you have the confidence that you'll be able to handle all that extra stuff, whatever the extras happen to be. Or on the other side of it, not on the other side, but another side of it, let's say, for especially in the entrepreneurship world, especially in the thought leadership world, is that when someone's in that thought leadership space, often they have the belief that they could be a thought leader in several things. It's not just one thing. Like, I can help people with this. It's not just this one thing that I'm good at. I could do all of these things. I can help people with 20 different things. The challenge with doing that is that you're dispersing your skills. You're doing all these multiple things, and it's kind of like the cliche that maybe some of you have heard before, maybe not, that if your back is hurting, who would you rather spend your money on? If you go to a doctor, who would you rather pay? Would you rather pay the chiropractor whose whole business is focusing on helping people with back issues, or would you rather pay the general practitioner who's like the doctor that can kind of help people with a little bit of everything? Which one do you think has a better chance of helping you with your back issue? The one who focuses on people's back issues, or the one who kind of dabbles in everything? Of course, it's probably the chiropractor, because that's their main focus. That's why the zone of genius matters so much. It's not only because it will help you sell your stuff, because the people who see you will say, all right, this person focuses on just this, so they can probably help me with just this, because that's the issue that I have. But also, because you're focusing on just that, and that's your zone of genius, you will probably be better at it when you're only focusing on one thing than if you're focusing on 5 things and you're giving 20% of your energy and attention to 5 different things at the same time. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? This is the reason why I've said in my material that it's impossible for anybody to be great. And great meaning, when I say great in this context, meaning being the best you could possibly be, it's impossible for somebody to be great at more than one thing at the same time. Can't be great at 2 things at once. This is why no basketball player can put out, an NBA player, let's just say, can put out a good rap album at the same time they're playing in the NBA. Why? Because the amount of focus that it takes to be great at basketball means you can't put in the amount of focus it takes to make great music. Now, your music might be okay. Doesn't mean you can't have fans. Doesn't mean you can't sell some records. Doesn't mean you can't put up stats in the league at the exact same time. But to be your absolute best at either one means you got to be putting all your focus into just one thing. This is why the people who are the best at what they do, often they are focused on just that one thing, and they dominate focusing on just that one thing. That's how they become great at it. Now, are there some exceptions, few and far between, the people who focus on, they kind of looked at several different things? Yes, Leonardo da Vinci is an example that some of you probably don't even know who that is. But Leonardo da Vinci was a guy who focused on several different things, but his focus was the fact that he combined all these things, he combined these disciplines and created new ideas from the fact that he was combining them. It wasn't the fact that he was trying to be great at any one of them at the same time. So your zone of genius, first of all, you need to figure out what it is. And you need to figure out not only what are you great at and that you actually want to focus on, but also where is the marketable opportunity for you. Because you might think that your zone of genius is, who knows, knitting sweaters, but is that a marketable opportunity? And the word marketable simply means, are there people who are willing to pay for it at such a level that you can make the kind of money that you want to make from doing that and just that? So if you just focus on knitting sweaters and hats, could you make enough money? If you were the best in the world at knitting sweaters and hats, could you make enough money to support the kind of lifestyle that you want to live, to take care of your family, to put your kids through school, buy the kind of house you want to buy, get yourself a car, etc., etc. Can you support your lifestyle with doing just that thing? So you need to find, it's kind of the intersection of the thing that you can actually be great at, that you actually enjoy doing, and that you are willing to invest in time, money, attention, energy, focus, and it is actually marketable to where you can get the return on investment. And the reason why you do this is because the great few, that's your zone of genius, will subsidize the mediocre many. The mediocre many are all the things that you can do, but you're going to put those aside so that you can focus on the area in which you're great. This is a discipline, folks. The reason why this is a discipline is because, again, most of you who are listening to this message, you're probably good at more than one thing, right? All right. Most people are not only good at just one thing. All right. Most people are probably good at, many of you are probably good at 5, 6, 7, 10 things. The question is, do you have the discipline to put 8 or 9 of those 10 things aside so you can focus on the area in which you found that intersection? You're great at it. You actually enjoy doing it. You're willing to invest in it. Time, money, attention, energy, focus, and there's a marketable opportunity inside of it. You need to find a place that matches all 3 of those. When you find that, that's when you know you're in the right spot. But you have to have the discipline to put aside all the other things that you could do so you can focus on the main thing that you're going to do. That's the game, folks. With all that said, text me so you can get my daily motivation message straight to your phone, free of charge, every day. My number to get that daily motivation text is down below as well, but here's the number, 305-384-6894. And go to workonyourgameuniversity.com so you can join me in my mastermind programs. That is, I have a group program, also got a one-on-one program. When you want to work with me, we can figure out what your zone of genius is and where you should focus. We want to make sure that you're finding something that's marketable, meaning you can actually make the kind of money you want to make from it. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. That link's down below as well. Work on your game. Dre all day.